Roll call, please.
Here.
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 Here. Four commissioners present and one absent. Number 3, declaration of conflict of interest. Seeing there is none. Communications? None were received. No communications. The minutes for December the 3rd, 2013.
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of December 3rd, 2013, Hammond Redevelopment Commission meeting.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Motion passes. Welcome, Commissioner Myrick. Okay, number 6, homebound conditional forgivable loan approval for Maria Fernandez.
Commissioners, Maria has withdrawn from the program, so we
Very
can
much.
pass that right up.
Okay, number 7, subordination request approval for Takara Cruz.
Commissioners, in your pack, you have a subordination request approval and a agreement request form. It's a typical subordination request. No cash is coming out. It's basically just lowering the rate, and in this case, about 1.25% lower. And I believe Takara, is that how you say it? Takara is here if there's any questions for her or for her kids. If you have some questions.
No questions, but I'd like to say that yay, anytime we can get it lowered, our
Anytime.
mortgage is great. Good for you.
A dollar's a dollar. Any more questions or comments, Commissioner?
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion for the subordination request approval for Takara Cruz.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Motion passes. All commissioners present. Okay. Number 6, conditional approval for sale of NSP property and related affordability assistance allowance for Michael, Kimberly S. Williams, Ronald, and Sally
Gutzwa.
Kuchwa. Are they present?
Yes,
Wonderful.
one family is, both committed to be here, both buyers agreed to be here tonight. I do know that the Williams work on the south side of Chicago, far south side. And I think their intent is still to be here, so we could maybe leave them to the end of the meeting and see what happens.
That sounds good.
But Ronald and Sally Gutzwa are here, and they are currently purchasing the property located at 7345 Jarnakey for the price of $107,500, which is the average of 2 appraisals that we have run, had completed for the property, and the maximum affordability assistance allowance of $21,500 for the purchase of that property. And again, they are present if they want to step up, and you can question them if you want.
And welcome from Calumet City. Commissioners have any questions or discussions?
What made you decide to work across the state line?
We do everything in Hammond already. We work in, well, I work for the Times, he works for Lear, and we do everything in this side.
So you might as well live here, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
You're
welcome.
home.
We're happy.
Good.
We want all you people to come over here. Here you go. Any
welcome.
more questions, Commissioners? Discussion?
So we're coming back to Michael D. Williams and Kimberlyn S. Williams when they show
Yes.
up, when
Yeah.
they arrive.
In the event that they don't, their contract does allow them through the 15th of January to close. However, in meeting with them and talking, they're probably ready to close right now. That's why I'm surprised that they're not here. Nope.
No?
So if we want I'll entertain, present Ronald and Sally Gutzwa to you, and then at the time that they come in, we can put them on the agenda, or if you so please, approve them, and I can bring them in at another meeting.
That would be fine.
I think so, if they're that far along, Dennis.
Yeah. would wanna-
Okay.
The traffic outside was pretty bad.
Yeah.
It took me over a half hour to get here, and I'm not very far.
And you only have one more meeting
We only have one more meeting.
until the 15th.
Okay.
Madam President?
Yes,
I'd like to make a motion for the conditional approval for the sale of NSP property and related affordability assistance allowance for Ronald and Sally, I'm not going to try to do that name, and Michael and Kimberlyn Williams.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes,
Yes.
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 Yes, motion passes. All commissioners present. Congratulations and Merry Christmas.
Congratulations.
Welcome to Hammond.
Welcome to Hammond.
That's it.
Okay. Number 9, approval of United Consulting contract for Oxbow Landing improvements.
Commissioners, you have in your packet an agreement with United Consulting. We also have Jen Grawcock here from United Consulting. She can come up to the podium. We'd like you to do it. We have many questions for you. This is a project, it's really a threefold project for Oxbow Landing. One is for an access road on the northern side of the property, because we realize that any businesses that are going to move to the northern side of the property are going to need an area for garbage pickup or deliveries, potentially even semi-product delivery movement, and we don't allow semi-through traffic at Oxbow Landing. So we came up with the solution of putting in an access road on the northern side of the property. So that's one. Two, almost any developer we've spoken to about moving into Oxbow Landing, one of their first requests is to have the sound wall removed because it's blocking visibility from 8094. So part of this also is to start that project. And when we spoke to NDOT about potentially moving the wall, we did get approval from them. However, one of the requests was a noise study to see what the effects would be, if it would have any negative effect on any residential people in the area. We don't think we think the answer is going to be it's not, but we still have to have the study done per NDOT. And number three, the third part of this project, third aspect, is the construction of a sign. Anybody who's moving into Oxbow Landing, we've told them that we will have one sign, because we don't want a bunch of different signs from a bunch of different businesses. Very similar to the sign across the street where the Wendy's, Cracker Barrel, and the 3 hotels are. We're basically looking for the same type of sign, a large pylon sign with 5 arms, because we basically have 5 lots available at Oxbow Landing. So that's the third part of the project, is actually putting up the pylon sign and making it available so that when we do sell property, they will have the opportunity to pay for their own sign and have it connected to our pole, if they choose to do so, which I would imagine most of them will, because it will give them visibility on 8094 from both directions. And if you're familiar with the site across the street, if it wasn't for that very large sign across the street, you might potentially miss, one of the businesses or a couple of businesses that are in there.
Well, Tony and I live in the neighborhood, and we're just so anxious for that to get developed. And there was a road there, correct me if I'm, before, right? Or was it?
There was.
There was, so you just blocked off that part of it, and when you did put the new one in?
Correct.
Just having to redo the one that was there, right?
We are, and we're actually, there's going to be quite a bit of cost savings because a lot of the road, I guess, maybe Jen could speak to this more, but there's actually asphalt or something that was in the ground below the road. Well, it's still there. We just covered it up and put some dirt and grass. So there's going to be some savings there because of the old access. Well, it used to be the actual road that connected to, I think that's 179th, that actually goes into the Crozan Industrial Park. So, yeah, but at the time, we wanted just one road through, but obviously, you've got to have access for certain deliveries and whatnot, depending on the business that's going to locate there, so.
Yeah, I never even thought of that for the,
I agree. I think it's a must-needed phase to the project with the road. That will definitely help with the deliveries and keep some of the, like you said, the truck traffic off the main road.
and the sooner the better.
Jen drove up from Valparaiso, so if you want to ask any questions about United Consulting, she'll be happy to answer them for you. We've worked with United Consulting on a lot of different projects. Jen and I don't think we've done any projects through planning and development,
We have not, no.
but Jen has worked with Stan Dostotny on quite a few projects, and
Well, I've seen her quite a few times, so I know I know you
Yes.
well.
Is your company the one that handles the noise study that's going to take place, or who is it that does that?
We will be contracting with a firm that the city approves. We do not personally do noise studies.
And how soon were we thinking of having that noise wall removed?
we've actually already received one proposal for the sound study. The question is, when are we going to have as soon as NDOT gives us approval and that we know we have the funding in place, because at the time, the first time we approached NDOT was probably about 3 years ago when they approved taking it down. And at the time, we had an estimate, and the one thing NDOT said is you could take it down, but it's going to be on your cost to remove the panels and bring them to our site. So we had an estimate, and I think it was going to cost somewhere in the neighborhood of about $150,000. So we'll have to get that all in place before we actually,
So it's probably not till after the new year,
oh yeah.
probably not till February or March.
Even,
At least,
yeah, it could
yeah.
even be beyond that,
Okay.
absolutely.
With the-
It'll take some time.
Okay, just wondering. Okay. And we'll know what those results are, right?
Absolutely.
Our
We'll-
committee will get the results of that study?
You would actually have to, the redevelopment commission would actually approve the bids that come in, and then also, obviously, whoever we contract to do the study will come in here and do a formal presentation so that everybody's comfortable with it.
I kind of agree with you too, Phil. The wall there is really not too much residential there, and, if I'm bringing a big business there, I definitely want to be seen from the highway, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. And it's probably, the whole wall, to a certain point will, pick up, so just that spot there where the businesses are, so.
Correct. So I would say we probably had negotiations with 10 different companies. Over time, people want to purchase property at Oxbow, and there has not been a single one that has not asked if and when the sound wall is coming down, because visibility for a business is crucial.
Yeah, it is.
And by the way, Stan Dostotny has reviewed this as well. Stan and I work closely together on this, and especially with his relationship with United, having, done a lot of projects in the past. So really, it wasn't just me. Stan has done a lot for this as well.
Any more discussion, questions, Commissioner?
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner.
with that, then I'd like to make a approval for United Consulting Contractor for Oxbow Land Improvements.
I second that, please.
Thank you. Roll call, please. Soto Presley?
Yes?
Yes.
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 Yes, motion passes. All commissioners present.
Great, thank you. We look forward to working with you guys.
Sweetheart.
Thank you very much. You too.
Be safe driving home. Number 11, reports. Mr. Talon, you got any more good stuff for us? Huh?
Number 10.
Do we have to do that one?
If we could.
Okay. Now, we have an approval for Hammond Development Corporation to apply for a grant on behalf of the Hammond Redevelopment Commission.
This is also in your packet, and it's pretty self-explanatory. It's really a consortium of the City of Hammond, the Hammond Development Corporation, the Hammond Redevelopment Commission, and Purdue-Calumet applying for a grant. And obviously, you've heard their strength in numbers, and that's part of what we're trying to do here. So the document itself has all of those groups agree that Hammond Development Corporation has been designated the lead agent for an EDA project, and it's looking for a number if there's an approval. The lead agent is designated to act with full legal authority to bind the City of Hammond, Hammond Development Corporation, Hammond Redevelopment Commission, and Purdue-Calumet to act as the official representative of the recipients in connection with all actions necessary to complete this project. This particular grant they're requesting is for downtown Hammond, and it has to do with potentially expanding the Innovation Center. The Innovation Center building that we currently have is basically at capacity. There's usually one office that will, go from having a tenant to not having a tenant, on a regular basis, but for the most part, the building is full. So Mark McLaughlin, the chief of staff, who is also previously served as the director for the Hammond Development Corporation, this has been something he's wanted to look into for a while, and obviously it's a grant, so it's not a loan, it's not money you have to pay back. If we're able to get it, it's basically free money for us to use for this potential expansion project. That's it.
Sounds like a good deal. It took, didn't take that long for that to fill up. I mean, I was happy to see that happen.
Yeah, it does well. The tenants, typically when you have an incubator, you want a lot of technology-like businesses, and we've taken in quite a few different businesses, some not necessarily what I'd consider technology-based businesses, but they've had a number of successes in there of groups that have come in, 1 or 2 people, and by the time they hit the maximum amount of time they could spend in there, because there is a certain amount of time, they are looking for a much bigger location, they're hiring employees, and the Innovation Center actually worked exactly like it was supposed to. So it's been very successful, and I know Chancellor Keon from Purdue-Calumet is a huge advocate of innovation incubator type projects, and he's been very outspoken about getting Purdue more involved with the incubator in downtown Hammond, and that's obviously a huge plus. Any way we can work together with Purdue is a positive.
Wonderful. Have any questions or discussions, Commissioner? Sounds like a great deal to me.
So what we need then is a motion, right?
It'd be a motion to approve this document.
So I'd like to make that motion for approval for the Hammond Development Corporation to apply for a grant on behalf of the Hammond Redevelopment Commission.
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes, motion passes. All commissioners present. Now we'll do number 11. Mr. Taylor?
Happy to report to the commissioners, as you may recall, the City of Hammond signed an agreement with United Neighborhoods, Inc. to construct 2 new homes at Parish View. This is a new home residential area. Years ago, quite a few construction projects took place, and after a certain amount of time, it kind of became stagnant, and we have not had a lot of movement there. So we decided to kind of pattern a project off of the Lincoln Lake project, which is let's construct the new homes and see if we can get people interested. And so in this case, we constructed 2 new homes. The company that built the homes were Homes of Distinction. That was all done through United Neighborhoods, Inc. And as of this morning, we have our first accepted offer for one of the homes at Parish View. So we are very excited about that. I think the house was for sale for $227,000, and we accepted an offer of $218,000, which is typical to always come down a little bit on a.
Didn't take long at all, really.
No.
No, it didn't. And now, once the home is sold and the closing takes place and the check comes in, we can I think we should consider moving on to building another home and keep the
How many
project
more
going.
lots do we have there, man?
I want to say there's somewhere in the neighborhood of 16 or 17 still available.
I didn't realize there was that many.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, there's still quite a few. So that's just a report. There's no motion or anything like that. And that's basically it. If anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Anyone have any questions for Mr. Taylor?
I can mention one other thing. Since Dave has an appointment, I want to kind of extend this a little longer to make him late. you know, looking at the records, we were recently discussing that the Redevelopment Commission has not received any sort of increase for working as a commissioner in a very long time. I could not find it. We are actually looking at potentially making some sort of increase for the hard work that all the commissioners do. Obviously, you give a lot of time towards this project. A lot of people know it's not just the meetings. There's a lot of outside activities where you represent, and obviously, I think you know how important your positions are and what you're doing for the city. So this is something we're looking into right now, and I just want to let you know that hopefully, maybe at the beginning of 2014, we could potentially look for a little increase. So that's all.
And thank you.
Yeah. Public agrees.
I mean, I've been here for a few years, and I remember the last raise, but I don't remember when it was. It's been so long. And I've never thought of asking for a raise. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy helping people. And this job, it just fits me. I'm not the smartest or the best, but I love it. I love helping people. And that's what we do. And it's a good thing.
I appreciate it,
Thank
Bill,
you. We
your
do
staff,
too.
and from the
Awesome.
mayor on down.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got a great administration we're working with right now. Looks like Ms. Miller's already on Christmas vacation. Do you guys have any more questions or discussions for Phil? Mr. Westland, you gonna leave us early tonight?
No?
No? Oh, okay. All right.
Because I kept
Ms.
my
Miller?
report short, he's going to be okay.
Okay. Number 12, pay some bills, please.
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner.
I'd like to make a motion to pay the register of claims for November 18th, 2013 through December 11th, 2013. Register of claim R49657 through, oops, I didn't look at the last one, R49784.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
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 Yes, motion passes. Bills are going to get paid. Okay, number 13, new and unfinished business.
The only, Madam President, I do got one new thing. I'd like to direct this at Phil. Over the weekend, I'm sure you've heard of the Simon Group. They're a big mall developer and stuff. I kind of met with the vice president over the weekend. He was at a wedding that I attended, so I did pick up his business card, and he would be interested in contacting Phil and his staff on some possibilities in Hammond.
Awesome.
Fantastic. I'd love to sit down and have a conversation with him.
You're welcome.
Thanks,
That's all I
Tommy.
have.
That's great.
Awesome, thank you.
I just wanted to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to everyone. You hear a bell ring? We'll get the swing, right? Okay, number 4, public comments. 3 minutes, please. Public comments. Nobody wants to talk. Bill, you have anything? Oh, yes, ma'am.
Since this is my first time coming, just to,
Oh,
and I
welcome.
said, well, I don't know if, when you say, is there any questions, if we can ask?
We said public comments. It's when I say that, that means you can speak for 3 minutes or ask a question. And would you like to introduce yourself and tell us where you live?
Yes, I'm a Hammond resident. I've lived here all my life. I went to Hammond High School, and I just decided I would start coming to, you start at 4:30,
Yes, ma'am.
but you started a little early today?
No, ma'am. That clock is a few minutes slow.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
No, I said, I call myself coming for 4:30 early.
Yes.
And then I see all the cars, and I said, well, then, when I heard, I guess Phil Tellian,
Yes?
when I heard you talking about the, you were speaking of the redevelopment, and I wanted to ask, where is this house at? But I didn't know if I could ask that question when you were,
Sure, that's what we want you to ask any questions that you're,
the house that you said that you just sold, where
Yeah.
was that at?
And just to clarify, You wouldn't ask during the meeting, you'd wait till public comment, and then whatever
Okay.
questions you have. Yeah, you wouldn't do it during the meeting while we're on the agenda item. The house is in the southern part of the city in Hessville, right off of Parish Avenue.
By Grand?
It's a little further west than Grand.
Oh, Parish, okay, I know it.
And UPS.
UPS, I was thinking
UPS,
that,
that's
okay.
very good, that's exactly, it's a great landmark.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how many homes are constructed, you're probably somewhere in the 12 to 13 range, but the city just constructed two, and like I said, as of this morning, we just received an accepted offer,
Oh, okay.
so we're very excited about it.
There's a new one sitting there waiting.
I was gonna say, did you want to buy the next one?
Yeah, it's for sale.
No, I'm very satisfied with the house that I live in, Hannah.
I'd like to get your name again, I'm sorry.
Nancy Cobb,
Pardon me?
Spell that last name, honey.
Nancy Cobb, C-O-B-B.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Cobb.
Okay.
A few Cubs in the area that I know.
Well, my maiden name is Weems, W-E-E-M-S.
Oh, Tara?
No, she's married to one of my cousins.
Oh, okay, well,
No, I'm not Tara.
welcome to our meeting, Mrs. Cobb.
What did you say?
Welcome to our meeting.
Thank you, Okay.
Hope you enjoy your Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Oh, I plan to. Oh, and I did have another question, something about, I was wondering if when you have your meetings to get the construction companies, are these construction companies, do they have to have so many people from Hammond working with their construction when they build these things?
Like,
Or even if it's not building, I know you're going to tear down a wall or something.
every project's different, so I can't speak in one generality for every project, but most projects that we end up undertaking, we go through a bid process. We can't necessarily mandate that they have to use so many Hammond employees, or Hammond residents, I should say. However, every once in a while, there is a project that there is some sort of stipulation that there has to be Hammond residents or something along those lines. But most times when you're bidding a project out, you're basically trying to get the lowest, most, a bidder that also has a good history. So it's not necessarily just the lowest cost, but also has a good history. A lot of the companies that bid on these projects, we will have a conversation with them at one time or another and just talk to them about hiring Hammond residents and
Hammond residents and minority residents.
minority residents, sure. Well, in specific to our department, the Department of Redevelopment, we receive all the HUD dollars, so Housing and Urban Development dollars. That comes through planning and development. Whenever you have a HUD-type project, there's always a Section 3 provision in there, which talks about minority businesses and hiring low-income residents for these type of projects. So we do have quite a bit of that. However, there's not a lot of Section 3 businesses that are out there. And again, they have to look for the bid, and they have to bid on the project. They have to be paying attention to the newspapers, because we always publicize it. And it's on them to actually come in and say, hey, I'm a Section 3 business, I want to bid on this. And typically, if you have that Section 3 title to your company, there's a very good chance you're going to be the successful bidder on the project.
No, I wasn't saying that the company had to be minority owned. I wasn't saying that.
Okay.
I was asking that so many minority worked for whatever company. It didn't matter to me what company. I was just wondering how that worked.
You're talking about for the companies that we hire.
Yes.
Typically, there's all kinds of different language in the actual bid itself, but it really is different depending, there's all different types of projects that are run throughout the entire city, and they're all run through different departments. So it's, I guess the best answer is we're always looking looking for Hammond residents to be employed. We're always looking for minority residents to be employed. It's definitely a focus of ours, and we're very careful and we watch those types of things. But there's no guarantee in any particular project, you know, whether it's going to be this company or that company based on this or that.
Well, when they make their bids, does the public hear the bid?
Yes,
The public does get a chance to, say like, if you're gonna do the bids today, I could come in and listen to the bids and see.
absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me, Phil.
Mhm.
You're welcome to every meeting. It's a public meeting. We usually get here around 4:15, and the
Oh,
meeting
is
starts
it,
at
the bid is
4:30.
done in this meeting?
The bids are open
Oh,
up
okay.
here. And
See,
then,
I didn't even know that.
Yes, ma'am. And all that goes on during the meeting. If you want to come, you're welcome. And you'll learn everything by watching what we do.
Right, right. That's why I'm here, to learn. All right, thank you very much, and I want you all to have a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, number 15.
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We got a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye.